What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, I want to give my thoughts on the Avocado Open. I want to give Paul McBeth updates as far as his injury goes because it seems to be a bit up and down just at first glance. Again, I'm not really sure what's going on, but it seems to be that it's sort of an up and down process for him still. And I want to talk about the top 20 discs and give my opinion on which manufacturers are killing it, and which manufacturers have some ground to make up and which ones could do a little bit better. So the first thing I want to touch on is this really cool event that Paige Pierce and Nate Perkins and a bunch of different sponsors set up. It's called the Avocado Open. They got Steve Rico, they got Philo out, and then Paige and Nate Perkins. First of all, I was kind of excited to see just Paige play with the guys and see how she stacks up playing against the dudes. And she's playing really well, and she's doing really good job. She's throwing a lot of nice shots. And her and Nate have been playing this course a lot, so they're familiar with all the lines and the little intricacies between the different baskets, because the baskets seem to all be a bit different. But this is a really cool course on that. It's obviously a private course on that farm that they're living at in California, and Philo almost just got the bank shot ace almost. Really good disc golf being played. There's some highlight putts. They're playing super well, and I think you guys should check this out because it's sort of refreshing to get a little bit of coverage to watch, and they did such a nice job, like as far as all the graphics up on the top and across the left side of the screen, and like they even had slow mezzes going, and even just like we got logos all over the place. Like everything is just really good. They did a really nice job with this coverage, and like even just that whooshing arrow that sort of transitions, like they just have nice transitions, good graphics, really good coverage. If you haven't seen this yet, go check out Paige Pierce's channel. It's super cool, really good. And then they have a lot of sponsors in there that I've never heard of, so lots of cool different like products that are supporting disc golf that are super dope. So definitely go check out that video because it's a good one, and only almost 22,000 people have seen it. I know there's probably at least 100,000 people who would want to see that if they knew that it existed. Now, as far as Paul goes, Paul is looking pretty good. They're still playing quite a bit. This is in a Foundation disc golf video. They're playing the doubles game called Wolf. And I'm not here to explain how to play Wolf. I might make a video playing a round of Wolf when we're allowed to go out and play with other people. But I want to talk about Paul McBeth's injured ankle. So if we just zoom up ahead here, we can have a look and see that here he is wearing the brace at this point in time. So if we pause here, we can see he's still wearing the brace on the right ankle. And if we look at the upload date, this was May 2nd. So I'm usually a day ahead of everyone in the States. So it's probably 2 days ago that this came out. But we can see Paul McBeth is wearing the brace on May 2nd. But if we go to this day here, April 14th, so little over 2 weeks ago, we can see that Paul was running without a brace here and being quite aggressive on that ankle. So he's not wearing the brace here, and instead of just touching the tree, he leaps up, and I don't know, it just looked a little wonky to me. So I don't know. He's not wearing the brace here, so I'm wondering if, he got a bit too excited and did something weird to his ankle just via, I don't know. That was a confident little leap there on a messed up ankle. So he's back in the brace here, and again, that video I just showed of him jumping up the tree was before this. So I'm sure he has good days and he has bad days, but right now it seems like that ankle's not better. I predicted in a previous video that I still think Paul is going to just play out the rest of the season when the season restarts. I think he's going to be fully rehabbed up, but him still needing to wear the ankle brace just for casual rounds is a little bit concerning to me because he's still wearing this brace. He's obviously throwing more aggressively, and he's able to get behind his shots a bit more than he was before. You can see he's really getting behind that one. But I think it's just something we want to keep an eye on because he wasn't wearing a brace, and then, running, jumping around, playing basketball, doing all kinds of stuff. And then now all of a sudden he's back in the brace again. So it's just something worth paying attention to. And it was just something that I noticed that I wanted to make you guys aware of as well. Leave your comments in the comment section down below if you think it's no big deal, or that if you think he could still be injured and that he's still going to hold true to not playing beyond a certain point this year. Okay guys, so the last thing that I want to talk about in this video is the top 20 disc sales on Infinite Discs. I want to talk about what companies are selling a lot of discs and which companies aren't selling many discs at all. Now we see obviously Discraft is leading the way. They have 10 discs in the top 20, and then if we look at the other end, we have Discmania only with 1 disc in the top 20, that disc being the Tactic. Now, if you do throw Discmania, I think this is a disc that you would want to try out because this is a disc that they did not have in the lineup previous to now. I would say it's like a Prodigy A2, so it's like a nice flat, not glidey approach disc. So it's a nice little utility throwing putter that you can throw really hard that will always have a nice, dependable, overstable finish. And then they have it in a hard and a soft plastic. So I think this disc will get more popular when we see Eagle and Simon actually using it in tournaments. That's when I think this disc will make more sales because they don't really sell discs in their videos, as to where Brody and Paul are pushing disc sales in their videos a bit more. Brody's always pushing his 3-packs, and they do a lot more emphasis on what they're actually throwing, as to where Eagle and Simon aren't really doing that as much for theirs. So I think that's why we see such a gap in between Discmania and Discraft. Now, if we look, we see Innova's up here a little bit, but you know, the Destroyer is always in there, the Aviator is always in there, and then KC AVR, those are always in there. A lot of good players putt with those. Ricky putts with those, and then Ricky obviously influences the Star Destroyers. And then the Nova is actually making a little bit of a resurgence. Ricky isn't throwing a Nova currently because he has his pigs, I believe. So I'm surprised to see the Nova in here, but that is exciting to see that Novas are coming back because I think it's a really cool disc. And then we have MVP. They just came out with 2 new molds, and then they did a restock of dynamic putters, so that's why the dynamic putters are up on the list. But yeah, comment below if your favorite company is in this list, and if you think this is an accurate list of the way things should be, or if you think some companies are doing a lot better than others. You can't argue that Paul and Brody weren't the right decision for Discraft because clearly they're selling the most discs by a mile. So not only are they selling a lot more discs, but they're selling way more volume. Like, they're selling twice as many Lunas than almost any other disc on the entire website, which is just crazy to me. So right now, Brody and Paul are definitely, even though they're not playing, they're still active on social media. So they're still giving Discraft their money's worth, which is really exciting. And it's really cool to see disc golf moving in that direction where these guys as influencers are still able to affect the game without actually playing in tournaments. But leave your comments in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. This is Iceberg TV. Have a good one.